Hello everyone, and welcome back to New Hope Tarot. This is your pick a card message and guidance you need to hear now. This is a timeless reading. Please pick your card and your stone, and I will meet you at the pile of your choice. Before we go into your pile selection, I just want to let everyone know how I pick my stones and cards. Spirit guides me towards each card. I do not look at the card. I simply place them upside down, and then Spirit guides me to the stone that goes with each card. And without further ado, I'll go ahead and meet you at your pile. Hello, pile number 1. You have chosen the Rose Quartz. The Rose Quartz is regarding unconditional love. It's attached to the heart chakra. It can also be about self-acceptance. It also encourages compassion and understanding. So we're going to see how this stone correlates with your reading here. So let's go ahead and place this down. All right, let's take a look at your cards. The card you selected was Space. May your heart and your scope expand. And if you notice on your card, it has a cloud in the shape of a heart. And I'm getting the sense that you've distanced yourself from love for some reason or another. But mainly I'm getting you've distanced due to a protective measure. And it's very interesting that the Rose Quartz is here to go along with that. All right, let's take a look at the next card. We have the Outlaw and the Past Life Relationship. Okay. With the Outlaw, what I'm seeing here is that you defy what others consider normal, but now it's time to defy yourself. I hope that makes sense. That's what I'm getting. And with the past life relationship, it reads, you have known each other before. Now with this particular card, what I'm actually getting is this is more about a relationship you saw break down. Maybe you didn't consider it a healthy relationship in some sort of way. This might have been a past relationship of yours or a relationship you saw in your youth. Maybe these were your parents or your grandparents, or I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm getting a lot of different things from this particular card. I don't feel like this is a past life relationship. I think with past life, they're talking about something that occurred in a much younger age. This card's kind of dark. It's a very raw card. Something that looked right didn't feel right. I hope that makes sense. It's like it gave the presence of normalcy, but it really wasn't. If you look at the card, the background is really, really dark, but the front is very bright and highlighted. And I feel like whatever relationship you saw, this was really in regards to it being perceived as a good relationship, but in the background, when nobody else was present, it was not a good or healthy relationship. That's what I'm seeing here. All right, let's take a look at your cards. 6 of Cups, 3 of Swords, Page of Wands, Temperance, and the Page of Pentacles. Interesting. We have every suit. We have Cups, Swords, Wands, and Pentacles. Very interesting. So it looks like we're overall balanced, but I feel like there's something missing for some reason. But let's go ahead and go into the cards, and then we'll try to get more details when I look deeper into these cards. So with the Six of Cups, what I'm getting is that this might have been something that occurred in your childhood. I mentioned that in the past life relationship. This might have been, again, your parents or somebody you saw. I don't know, but I am definitely seeing that it was when you were much younger. And much younger is different for everybody. So let's say you're in your 20s. Much younger could have actually been when you were 6, or 16. If you're in your 40s, it could have been in your 20s. If you're, take it how it resonates. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it was something that occurred when you were, a very young child. It just means past. And again, it's very funny that it's attached to this. It's attached to this past life here. And if you notice, the kids here are focused on whatever is in front of them. And the adult in this particular card is kind of just looking at them, wondering, do they know? And I feel like this person believes that they're getting away with something. If you notice, this person has a shawl over. It's not a shawl, but I don't know what the clothing is called. They have a wrap around them, and it's barely pinned by this. It looks like a skull pin, and I just don't feel like this person's a good person. I never noticed this before in this particular card, and I've used these cards for a very long time, and I never noticed that up until this point. I'm also seeing the dark clouds. It's like that there's darkness looming, but you choose to focus on the good. Like you're trying to ignore the gloom. Again, so to prevent the heartache or what's coming, and I feel like you're trying to be in the right now. And this has to do with a long, long time ago. I felt like that's what you were doing back then to protect yourself. I'm not getting a good energy from this person at all. I'm not. And I don't want to say it, but Spirit has asked me to say it, so I'm going to. This is very uncomfortable. They're bringing up the word incest. And this is not for everyone, obviously, but it is for someone out there because Spirit has asked me to say it, and I'm very sorry that I even had to bring it up. Yeah, this person is not good. Funny enough, I'm seeing the number 7, and again, I've never seen this on these cards before. Maybe you were the age of 7. Maybe you were 17. Maybe it happened for 7 years. I don't know. Maybe it happened in the month of July. I don't know. But I'm seeing the number 7. Okay, let's move on from this card because I just feel negativity with this card. And you can see this person's inside, and they're in a very dark place. You see how dark it is? You're outside with someone else, and you're focused on trying to remain positive. All right, let's move on from that. The 3 of Swords here, I feel that this is, you're afraid of being hurt as you were before. You feel you aren't ready to endure that kind of pain or that kind of betrayal again, or if ever. But I'm getting the feeling that your heart is slowly healing, but I feel like you're still holding on to that pain. With the Page of Wands, pardon me, I'm getting choked up just thinking about it. With the Page of Wands, I feel that you've been doing a lot of inner work regarding this particular matter, and you've asked for guidance, possibly signs from spirit or your angels. If you notice the cardinals here, you see how they're communicating? They're not communicating, but they're kind of looking at one another. Cardinals are about communication, singing. So maybe you're hearing or noticing messages in songs. Maybe you're getting communication through spirit. Because I do see on this wand that there is this spark of enlightenment. I don't feel like you are enlightened yet, but I feel like there's this spark there. You hold it in your hand. You're capable of healing, but I feel that you're still masquerading, but you're wanting to heal, but I feel like you're masking something, and I'm not trying to call you out, pile number one. You can't heal if you're still masking the wound or pretending that it didn't happen, or I'm not sure. I'm seeing sunglasses. I'm seeing anger. I'm seeing that you still are holding on to these things, but you're still wanting to heal. And you can't have both. You can't heal while you're still holding on to these things. You have to let go of these things in order to heal. Okay? With this Temperance card, I feel like you're going to go ahead and find your inner peace. And know that harmony is the way to find your answers. You just need to find your answers. The Heron is about balance. You know, it's funny because Heron is also a bird that prefers solitude. And I feel like that's where you have been, in solitude. Now, when they mate, they do mate for life, if I'm not mistaken. But the Heron is mainly they prefer solitude. Not that they're always in solitude, but they do prefer their solitude. That's just the kind of bird that they are. They're also very good hunters. Very tactic orientated. The Page of Pentacles, I feel that you have to remain open-minded and willing to see or understand what you couldn't before. If you noticed I think this is a beetle. The beetle is holding on to this pentacles, focused simply on the brightness, the joy that's simply in front of them, ignoring the other things. The wilting of this flower. If you see the flowers, there's 3 flowers. One's bigger, and then it's gotten smaller, and then it's withering. And it reminds me a lot of the 6 of Cups card, that you're simply focused on the good. You know, while there's glooming going up on top. With the Page of Pentacles, again, you're just focused on what's bright and shiny in front of you, just like in the 6 of Cups. I feel that whatever has occurred has diminished in your heart, but not sufficiently, is what I'm seeing here. If you notice the flower, you see how the bud in the center is big, and then it's getting smaller and then smaller. I feel like it's wilting. It's slowly breaking down, but not enough for you to move on, my dear ones. That's what I'm seeing here. Yeah, I'm looking at these cards and I'm seeing 1, 2, 3. So I'm seeing the heart. I see the heart twice, but then I'm also seeing the rose quartz, which has to do with the heart chakra. So I'm seeing the heart 3 times. I'm seeing the darkness, this dark purple, which is about gloom. And I'm seeing the clouds also about gloom. And then look at all the clouds around the 3 of swords. So this was a very dark time for you. And even in the outlaw, you see some purple, but it's a lighter shade of purple, but it looks kind of hazy. So I feel like you're trying to get past the gloom, but it's hazy. Very similar to the clouds in the 6 of Cups, kind of hazy. And even in the Page of Pentacles, you see how there's different shades of green, a little bit hazy. In order to get past this haze, you need to go into yourself, into, 1 second, Spirit is femininity is what Spirit is trying to say. Try to find your femininity. And this has nothing to do with male or female. This is coming back into your feminine power. I don't know what happened in the past. That is your story. Please inject this into your story, how it resonates for you. Because what I'm getting is that you're still very frustrated as to what happened, and you don't know how to get back into your God-given right to be refined, to be elegant, to be whatever you perceive divine femininity to be. Whatever that looks like for you, that is your God-given right. I understand that there's a logical reason in your mind why you want to continue to put this mask on and masquerade as if this did not occur, because I'm seeing a lot of this purpleness, and I'm seeing that this is really about you not being in your own power, and you have the right to come into your power, which is why you try to focus on the things that you can control, such as in the 6 of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. You know, you're focused on the one thing, and you're trying not to focus on the gloom around you, or, the obstacles around you, whatever those look like for you. Like even in the Temperance card, like you're trying to get back into your power. There's all this purple. You're trying to get back into your power. But here we are with the 2 goldfish trying to balance these out. You're trying so much to try to balance these out. And if you notice, look, even in between I don't know what kind of flowers these are, but in between these purple flowers, they don't look like lavender or lilac. I'm not really sure what those are, but in between, there is in between the sun, or surrounding the sun, there's 2 flowers, and then there's 2 more on the other side of the heron here. Yeah, I just feel like you're constantly having to balance everything that is going on, your inner world, your outer world, your femininity, your masculinity. And this heron looks tired. They look sad. The triangle here is about masculinity, and the purple is about femininity. So I feel like there's masculinity surrounding your heart. Again, this hardness around your heart, and you're trying to step into your femininity. That's clear here with this Temperance card. And you're still focused on these. I don't even feel like you're focused on these two, on the things that you're balanced. I feel like you're kind of zoned out and kind of going through the motions, but you're wanting to deal with it. And you're capable because the sun's there right behind you. You just need to turn around. You're capable of it. But for whatever reason, you're not turning around. And if you notice on the heron, there is the sun right there. It could be their third eye, but that's the sign of the sun that's there on the... That's the astrological sign for the sun. That's in the third eye there for the heron. You know there's happiness around you. Look at these flowers. Look at all of these. Spirit just asked me to look at those flowers. You need to focus more on the joy. Because there is a new beginning waiting for you. We have 2 pages here. There is new beginning. You're wanting this new beginning. You're just having a hard time trying to break through this new beginning. And I was about to get some clarification here. So let me get some clarifiers. I just want to see if there's any additional advice how you can get past this, besides focusing on the good and opening yourself up to the signs that Spirit is giving you. Let's see. 7 of Wands. Right? It's going to take some courage. Challenge the things that you know. This is time that you stand up for yourself. Use your masculinity to stand up for yourself so that you're able to step into your femininity. Because even these cardinals look very masculine. They number one, they don't look very happy. However, the beetle here in the Page of Pentacles, she looks content, or it looks content. So we go from the broken heart, right? The 3 of Swords, the broken heart, the Page of Wands, feeling a little bit bitter, still feeling confused, asking for guidance. And then we have the sun. Well, not the sun, but it kind of looks like the sun. But it's basically the enlightenment that you hold in your hands that you don't have right now, but it's in your hands. Then we have the Temperance card, that we have the sun behind the Temperance card, and it's going in the step in the right direction. So you go from bitter to sadness. But in that sadness, I also feel... I'm also getting the feeling that you're tired of carrying all of this. So you're slowly starting to put things down because you're becoming more enlightened. I know that this is the Temperance card, but I'm also getting very high priestess energy with this particular Temperance card, because the third eye, which is indicative of the sun here, it's very similar to the sun, and it's in the astrological sign of the sun, it takes up its entire forehead, the heron's entire forehead. And you see the black and white, right? The white is the feminine, the black is the masculine. Do you see how they are throughout you? Because we're both yin and yang. We are both. And I see that you're starting, even though your heart is covered in that masculine energy, you are slowly coming more into your feminine energy. You just need to remove your cloak so that it is more likely to be seen and more likely to be recognized by yourself. But you need to face those challenges. Use the masculine side of yourself to be courageous. Use the feminine side of yourself to be softer. Allow the hardness around your heart to soften. Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings. And even in this Ace of Pentacles, there is a cloud with hands coming through it. And it reminds me a lot of this Six of Cups, where you have the clouds and, you know, the hands of God comes down on you and say, here's a star for you. Focus on this. I will help you through this. I feel like you've been guided throughout your life, even though you could not have been protected from everything. I felt like God shed light, little specks of light throughout to keep you hopeful. And we have the Hangman and the Lovers in reverse. The Hangman, again, this comes down to being enlightened, surrendering to the idea that you are more. And we have the upside down triangle. This is femininity, coming into your own power, coming into your feminine power, I should say, surrendering into what has happened and let it go, so that you are able to move on with your life. Then we have the Lovers in reverse. This is going to come down to trusting yourself, trusting your decisions, trusting that God has a plan for you. And in the Hangman, we have a third eye. In the Lovers, we also have the third eye, but it's really the sun sign again. But in this Heron, it's considered the third eye. So I'm seeing a lot of third eye. I feel like you are intuitive, but I feel that you might be missing something because you're not open to it. Or maybe you saw it or heard it, but you didn't understand it. Spirit is asking you to revisit those things, or when you are listening to music or signs, or you see repetitive numbers, pay attention to it, because Spirit is trying to guide you. Soften your heart. It's okay to be guarded. It is okay to be guarded. Spirit is telling me to tell you it is okay to be guarded, but don't build a fortress around your heart. Protecting yourself, absolutely. Building an entire fortress around it so that nobody gets in, no. That's not what Spirit wants for you. That's not what God wants for you. That's what maybe you feel you deserve. But I'm here to tell you that is not what you deserve. You deserve this new beginning that's coming. We have 2 pages. We have the Ace of Pentacles, which is, again, all of this is about beginning. And your beginnings are going to come once you become enlightened. And you let go, you surrender the past, you give it up to God, you leave it to the universe. Let them handle it. Let them handle it. This is no longer your concern. Let it happen, or let it go. Yes, it did happen, but have compassion for yourself. Accept that you are worthy and you are capable of moving forward from this hurt, is what I'm seeing here, my dear pile number 1. May you be healed until we meet again. Hello, pile number 2. You have chosen the golden calcite. The golden calcite has to do with your solar plexus and your crown chakra. This is not a warning, but this guides you to shed self-limiting beliefs. It also encourages you to believe in yourself without wavering, is what this card, it's a very vibrant stone. I'm going to go ahead and place it down here. We're going to go ahead and look at your cards. Let's go ahead and, all right, we have begin. May you start as if you have already begun. The very first thing I'm getting off of this is, do you see how the golden calcite matches the skyline? Very interesting. It's like you have some sort of dream or an idea, but you feel like it's a long way just to get there. Maybe you feel it's too distant for you to reach. You have all these steps and you have to swim all the way across just to reach that golden area. Very interesting. And it's funny, and I feel like you flip-flop. If I'm looking at these steps, and I swear, it's like I see the cards brand new every time I do a reading. The steps, if you look at the boards on the steps, you know, they're going vertical, then they're going horizontal, and then they go vertical again, and then in order to go down to the next one, you go horizontal, and then vertical, and then horizontal, and it keeps going all the way down the pathway. And I feel like you keep going back and forth, back and forth. You're thinking this way, and then you're thinking the other way, and then you're thinking this way, and then you're thinking the other way. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of indecision. You want something to happen, but you don't know how to start it, how to make it a reality. Interesting. All right, I'm going to go ahead and, before I even look at the cards, Spirit just pointed something out. It's like once you go down this treacherous stairway of going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then if you notice the sand, it goes from the sand and then to the water. The water leads to that golden yellow that mimics the golden calcite. But if you ever think of sand is not always forgiving, but it can be a nuisance. But once you put your footprint into the sand and it's indented, it stays there for a while. And then the closer you get to the water, those footprints kind of go away. And then it's more fluid, and then we have more fluidity in that water. So what I'm trying to say by that is you're going back and forth with your thoughts, back and forth with the steps, and then those thoughts start dissipating once you get into this sandy area. They're still there, but they're not as concrete as in the steps when you're in this whole section. And then the closer you get to the water, the more they disappear. And then once you're in the water, they're completely gone. And yes, the water can be a little bit wavy and perhaps sometimes rocky, but it's constant, it's fluid. And then you finally reach that golden You have a long journey ahead of you, my dear, from what I'm seeing so far. That's just from the Calcite and this begin card. But let's take a look at the other cards. Let's see how everything ties in. It's very, very interesting. We have the Death card. Okay. Yeah, something needs to die, probably these self-limiting beliefs, and let things grow. Look at that. Look at all the flowers. Look at everything that's growing within the death. Do you see it? You have to let something die in order for new things to grow. And then new things, once these things grow, look at the butterfly. It's attracting things, but you need to let something die. More than likely, it's these self-limiting beliefs, but let's take a look at the cards. Make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Yeah. So in this particular card, what I'm seeing is if you love something enough, go get it. Go get it. Don't let something hold you back. Things don't get delivered to you in a basket. You have to make the effort to go get it, is what I'm seeing here with this particular card. All right, let's look at the tarot. We have the King of Pentacles. Interesting. Queen of Wands in reverse. Judgment in reverse. The Lovers in reverse. And the Three of Swords. Wow. Okay. All right, so the King of Pentacles, I feel, is your energy right at this moment. This is the energy you should be in. The King of Pentacles, right? This is what you're capable of being. But if you look at the back of the, look, you even see a star, right? The pentacle in his throne. And it looks like, when you're enlightened, you have that highlight around you, right? Like in the Hangman or I forget what other card right at this moment, but they're highlighted, right? Like when you see angels and they have this aura around them, they have this orb around them, that's to symbolize that they are enlightened. And I feel like you're capable. If you see that, you see the circle and then you see the star. So it looks like you are beyond capable. But that star and that ring isn't lit up. It's there, but it's not lit up. And if you notice to either side of this king, we have fire and a hog, and then we have the blue sky and a bird. And I feel this is exactly what's happening with you. There's no difference between the King of Pentacles and the begin card. I'm seeing flip-flopping ideas. And I feel like the darkness, the negative thoughts are outweighing the positive thoughts and ideas that you have within your mind. And I feel like this is a constant inner battle within yourself. That's what I'm seeing here. Even your beard in this is divided. I've never seen a King of Pentacles with a beard divided. Actually, the King of Pentacles is usually clean shaven. In this particular, I swear, I have these decks that I've been using for a long time, and I always see something different. It's amazing. So with this particular King of Pentacles, again, you have a beard and it's divided. Not only is it divided, it's tied up, like it's braided. And I feel like that's what you feel like on the inside. You're tied up on the inside. It's like you're in knots. You don't know how to proceed. And I almost feel like you're paralyzed. and you can't move forward. With this holly up here, there's holly. Holly symbolizes success. It symbolizes fertility. It's also known in the Druid Lord as to having magical powers, and this is a Druid deck. So there's that, my dear ones. You know, it also symbolizes enduring the dark days. You know, it can symbolize enduring something dark in order to thrive, because holly thrives during winter. You know, if you're going through a hard time, here we have this holly here, and it's saying you can do this. You can do this. You're here. You know, even the clothing that this King of Pentacles is wearing, it's 2 different colors, which actually is identical to the holly, red and green. And again, I feel like you're both, like you're not balanced. It's like you're completely covered in green, but for whatever reason you decide to put this cloak on that's red. That's what I'm seeing here. And green is a color of renewal, growth, hope, right? The color green affects us physically and mentally in a lot of different ways. But it's something that, it's a color that brings harmony, hope, renewal even. But then it gets cloaked up by this red. And red can mean passion. It certainly can. It could also mean determination. But I feel like in this particular instance, this is more about self-preservation. I'm not really sure why I'm getting self-preservation from this particular red, but I feel like you're trying, it's like you have all of this green and there's zero need for this red cloak, but for whatever reason, you're like, no, I just need this extra layer because it comforts you. And again, I feel like this is about self-preservation. I really do. All right, let's move on to the Queen of Wands, Judgment, Lovers, and the Three of Swords. With the Queen of Wands, I feel that you have to let go of the lies you're telling yourself. And if you're looking at the Queen of Wands, look at the fire as well as the fire in the Queen of Wands and the fire in the King of Pentacles. Those are the lies. Those are that's what's happening in the darkness, all these lies. That's what's keeping you right where you're at. Right? And if you look at the Queen of Wands, she has her wand, her staff, and it emulates this post. And if you look at the post, I'm telling you, they look almost identical. One is more potent than the other. Again, we go back to this duality that's happening throughout your reading. You know, this protectiveness, this decision back and forth in the very first card. And I feel like you know you're capable, which is why you're holding this wand in your hand that's lit up. But then something takes over, something more, what's the word I'm looking for? Something more powerful, something more concrete is the word I'm seeing. More concrete takes over. And I'm getting the sense that your thoughts are over, your self-limiting beliefs are overrunning your mind. And again, it comes back to you not being able to move forward, almost paralyzed, is what I'm seeing here. And look, even in this Queen of Wands, there's redness all around her, right? And male, female, let's not worry about that. We're just talking about energies here. She's a queen. But for whatever reason, she is dressed like a pauper in this particular deck, which tells me that you are, and she's wearing purple, royalty color, right? She's wearing royalty colors. And then what happens? Wears this red cloak, very similar to the King of Pentacles, which is absolutely not necessary. She's wearing this red cloak to self-protect. Like, she even has a hood. What's the purpose of this hood? The Queen of Wands doesn't have a hood. The traditional Queen of Wands sits proudly on her throne with a black cat looking straight ahead with the wand in her hand and a sunflower in the other, knowing that she is capable. The Queen of Wands is incredibly confident. This Queen of Wands is too humble. Insecure even is what I'm getting. And I'm even seeing this yellowness on her, which is typically a joyous color. But what I'm really getting here is that you have a lack of clarity. That's really what I'm getting here, is a lack of clarity with this yellow over the purple. And there's a blend of orange in here, which again can mean joy, but I'm not getting joy. I'm getting that you're still trying to recover from disappointments. So with this particular Queen of Wands, I'm seeing all of these layers. You're capable of royalty, but then you have this other layer on top of you, which tells me that you're trying to cover up this possibility within you because of, whatever didn't work, whatever failure, whatever that looked like, whatever disappointment that was. And then you're trying to cover it up on that even still with this red cloak. Like, no, you don't see this. You don't see this. I just feel like you're capable of, and you don't see your own potential, is what I'm seeing with this Queen of Wands. With the Judgment card, this is all about self-doubt. If you're looking at the Judgment card, these people that are surrounding the Judgment card, honestly, what I'm getting is that these people are your emotions, and the negative thoughts, the judgments that are in your mind are playing a tune like the Pied Piper, and you're dancing along to this tune instead of taking matters into your own hands and self-evaluating and compose yourself from whatever disappointments that have happened in the past. Compose yourself. Instead of doing that, I feel like this Pied Piper, these negative thoughts are playing this tune, and your emotions are everywhere. They're just dancing to this tune. And look, even the Judgment has these wings. And if you're looking at your emotions are so dark and gloomy. With the Lovers here, this is really about detaching yourself from what didn't work out. That's ultimately what I'm getting here. The branches on this card are intertwined. You see how they're twisted? Not just the snakes. The snakes are twisted, but so are the branches. The branches are twisted. It is your job to untwist your ideas. Again, this is all about duality. We have it from the very first card, this back and forth. We have it in the King of Pentacles. We have it in the Queen of Wands. And now we're seeing it in the Lovers. It's just, we're constantly, and we're going green and red. You see it? Although this green is more of a teal, but still, you're capable, my dear pile number 2. I'm not really sure what's holding you back or what happened in the past that's holding you back. But for whatever reason, you're twisting things and you have to just let things go. With the 3 of Swords, this is about sorrow, confusion, disillusion, all of those things that we've been talking about throughout this entire reading. We're going to go ahead and get some clarifiers and find out what advice we can help you, how you can release some of this self-limiting beliefs here and this negative talk, and how we can untangle these ideas. Spirit is telling me to look at the Make the Effort card. Oh, there it goes. The Hangman. Interesting. That was one of the guidances that was in pile 1. And this is, before I get into the Hangman, Spirit was telling me to take a look at the Make the Effort card. And do you see that this little boy is being so sweet to this little girl? This is about being compassionate with yourself, allowing yourself to know that you're worth taking this risk for. This is about self-love. This is about you healing yourself so that you can make the effort to move forward. But the effort first has got to be into healing yourself, getting past whatever past disappointments you've had. Whatever that was, that is something that needs to be dead, done, and over with this Death card. Right? It is been brought up. Stop telling yourself these lies with the Queen of Wands. Trust yourself with the Lover's card. Detach yourself from whatever didn't work out. Let's get rid of this sadness. And, that's where the effort needs to be placed in, is what Spirit is telling me. So the Hangman and the Tower card in reverse have come out. I'm going to get 2 more cards. But again, the Hangman, I did mention, I know how to speak. I did mention when I was talking about the Queen of Wands, I mentioned the Hangman and how it has how it's highlighted over the head, how it's enlightened. I mentioned that, and this Hangman card is literally over the Queen of Wands. And that's exactly what needs to happen. Your enlightenment is in your own hands with this Queen of Wands, but you need to actually get enlightened. You need to take the time out to really look inward and surrender to the idea that you have to let go. You have to let go of the past and what has happened. It's done. There's no point in reliving that. Right? You are preventing yourself from moving forward, and your God-given right to have something powerful. I mean, you have the King and Queen here. But for whatever reason, you feel paralyzed from this past disappointment. With the Tower here, you're preventing a Tower moment. And the reason why I say that, everyone's like, oh, great, I did prevent a Tower moment. No, you need a Tower moment. Tower moments need to occur so that you can break down to rebuild. That's the whole point of the Tower. Something needs to die in order for something new to come in. That's evident here with the Death card. We have the Begin card. You need to, look at this. Begin, death, make the effort. You have to make the effort to allow things to die so that you can begin. Everything was tied up here with the first 3 cards. All right, right now what you're doing is preventing a Tower moment. And we don't want to prevent a Tower moment. We need this to happen. And even if that means that the Tower moment comes slowly, because it is in reverse, this could mean a prevention of something, or this could be that it's coming but slowly. But once this Tower moment happens, that's when you let things happen. With the 7 of Cups, that's when opportunities open. Yes, not everything in these cups are great. Some are good, some are bad. That is true. That is true in most decks. However, in this particular deck, everything is wonderful. We have flowers, we have stars, we have good things. And that means that good things are waiting for you once you allow this to, whatever disappointment, whatever these ideas are, to break down. I'm not going to say that everything moving forward is, flowers and stars and sunshines and rainbows and beams of, powerful, magical light. I'm not saying that. Yes, things aren't always going to go smoothly, because that's just the reality of life. That really is the reality of life. However, good and bad is better than no movement at all. Okay? And I am saying that in this particular 7 of Cups, all things are good within the 7 cups. Okay? So for you, movement going forward is better than no movement. Therefore, everything does look positive, because moving forward is a positive step for you. And then we have the 8 of Cups. Look at that. 6, 7, 8. Progression. 6, 7, 8. That's really good. 6, 7, 8. That's progression. That tells me that things will definitely progress, and change needs to happen. Change for sure needs to happen. The moment that you become enlightened and this Tower moment occurs, opportunities will happen, and you'll start seeing the change, and you're going to depart from this idea of your scarcity mindset, the self-limiting beliefs. Ultimately, your reading is about believing in yourself without wavering, so that you can watch your visions and dreams become a reality. That's ultimately what your entire reading is about. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to let go and detach of whatever disappointments occurred in the past. You chose pile 2 for a reason, the golden calcite for a reason. You have to shed limiting beliefs. That is what the golden calcite is all about. Releasing self-limiting beliefs, negative thoughts, scarcity mindset, releasing all of that and becoming vibrant again. Okay? Becoming vibrant again. That's what this entire reading is about, my dear pile number 2. All right? So take some time for yourself so that you're able to clear your ideas of these self-limiting beliefs, clear the ideas that you're not, whatever these lies are, clear them out of your mind. I'm not saying that you're not going to doubt yourself every once in a while. That is a natural thing. But if we're looking at this King of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, one is outweighing the other. And if there's one that should be outweighing the other, it should be the positive versus the negative. Right? Now, here's the truth is that it's wonderful to have them both balanced, because if you have too much negative, then you have the self-limiting beliefs. But if you have the too much positive, then you might have a little bit too much ignorance. The whole point is to have them balanced. Truly is to have them balanced, because they both serve a purpose. We have yin and yang in us for a reason. We are to be balanced. But right here, my dear pile number 2, you're not balanced. And we need to get you back to being balanced. Okay? Hopefully you find your rhythm, your cadence, your flow, and you're able to let go of that has hurt you in the past, or that you're so attached to whatever disappointment that was. Hopefully you're able to let go of that. Make the effort to let that go so that you can make your dreams a reality. My dear pile number 2, I'll go ahead and leave it here until we meet again. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. You have chosen the blue Apatite stone. This has to do with the throat chakra and the third eye chakra. This stone really assists in providing clarity and understanding things on a deeper level. It isn't quite blue, but it also isn't quite green. It's a beautiful color, and it's giving me the sense that it's a blend of things that you need to do. So I haven't even gotten into your cards. I haven't looked at the cards, but I'm getting the sense that there's something that needs to be blended. I'm not sure what that means. If this reading's for you, then you'll know what it means. But or maybe we'll have more clarity with the cards once they come out. But I'm just getting the sense that something needs to be blended, or something is blended and it needs to be unblended. Yes, that's it. Something is blended and it needs to be unblended. That's it. Okay, let's take a look at your cards here. All right. Present. May you sense each shiver of the surf. That's your first oracle card here. Let's set that to the side. And immediately what I'm getting with this card is that you may be perceived as aloof at this moment, but really you've just stepped aside to refresh. I feel like something was dragging you down and you needed to take that time to hone in on something or define something, refresh something. I don't know. I just said the word refresh, and the spirit just, told me, like, when you hit the button on the keyboard and you have to refresh. I feel like that's what, like, you're buffering and you're trying to refresh. I don't know. That's what spirit just gave me. I just say what they tell me to. All right. Then we have nature card. Interesting. Do you see the blending of the colors? The green and the blue? Green and the blue in both the present and the nature? Interesting how that correlates with this blue Apatite. Very interesting. And I feel like I said refresh, and I feel like with this nature, you're trying to get back to you, like to your true nature, to your core, to your foundation, whatever that is, because these third eyes are all in the center. And I feel like you're just trying to get back to your core. You're trying to get enlightened again, trying to get your own perspective again. That's really the word that I want to look for. Perspective. I feel like you really are trying to find your own perspective, which would make sense with this present card, that you've stepped away from something that was dragging you down. Maybe you were honing in or defining your own perception. Maybe that's what's blurred other people's perceptions and your perceptions, and you needed to step aside, step away to clear what that was. Now let's see what the other cards are, and we'll find out. Passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Yeah, this is honestly the only thing I'm getting here is follow your passions, whatever that is. Follow your passions. And look, you see the green and blue? Green and blue. She's wearing a blue dress, and there's the ocean behind them in that same color. Interesting. And then we have wings on this person, and then we have wings in nature. So whatever it is, let it take flight. Whatever your passion is, let it take flight. I think I know where this is going, but I always say that, and then I'm always surprised. So let's see what happens. The Chariot in reverse. Okay. Six of Wands in reverse. The Sun in reverse. Two of Pentacles and Four of Pentacles. Okay. Interesting. So with the Chariot here, what I'm seeing is slow progression, perhaps obstacles, or a lack of direction. I feel like you're trying to take control of a matter and take matters into your own hand. But I feel like those around you are trying to steer you in a certain direction. But I feel like you are incredibly powerful. I just noticed the basket weave and the checkers print on this person. And the checkers represent building your foundation, like a foundation. Not necessarily yours, but I'm assuming it's yours. And look at that balance, blue and red, and of course black and white, but that's normal with the yin and the yang. You know what's also interesting about this Druid chariot? In the typical chariot, there is a castle behind them, and they are leaving the castle. And they know that they're leaving the castle because the castle is, and it's funny because in the regular chariot, the Raider White Smith deck, there's wings on the chariot as a card as well. It's not showing here on this Druid card, but I am feeling that that this particular person, like, you know, the cloak is flying behind them like they have wings. But it's interesting that in the original they have a castle behind them, and they're leaving that, and they know that they're leaving that because they're looking for something more. It's like, you know, they're ambitious, they're looking for more. But in this particular chariot, there is no foundation behind them. You can't see that. You can't see that castle, right? And I feel like this is about you building your own foundation. Whatever that is, you're building your own foundation. It's represented here not only by the checkers, but the lack of foundation behind. So you're wanting to build. And I feel like you're even further along than you believe, is what I'm getting here. And I feel like you will move past obstacles that are in your way. Checkers also means freedom. And, with wings come freedoms because you're able to fly. And I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 wings with the flamingo. Flamingos have wings, so 4 sets of wings. Whatever, I don't know the full reading yet, but whatever it is you're trying to do, whatever your passion is, allow it to take flight. I feel like it's heading in the right direction. With the 6 of Wands here, I feel this is really that everyone wants to give their opinions. And I feel like that has what's caused your perception to be clouded. That's what I'm seeing here. Because if we're looking at this particular card, like everybody's wands are lit up, like, and everybody's giving their, so-called enlightened ideas, and meanwhile, you're just trying to build your foundation. And I feel like they're just talking, and like, when a crowd, when a cloud is. Or not a cloud, a crowd is, everybody's talking within a crowd and you can't even hear yourself think. I feel like that's what the sense that I'm getting here. And if you look at the 6 of Wands, the foundation the castle, that the buildings that is behind them, they're not concrete yet. It's still a figment in this person's imagination. They're not in focus yet. That's what I'm seeing here. And this is what I'm getting from this particular 6 of Wands, is like everybody's giving their opinions, their point of views, whatever that is. And you can't see things clearly. You can't think clearly. That's what I'm seeing there. With the sun in reverse, I feel like those around you, or whatever your outside influences are, they're keeping you from shining. And therefore you might be oppressed. And if you notice, the sun is below. And then everybody else. Do you see everybody else? Because you have every single sign in a circle. Everybody else is coming at you. It's like they're on top of you, suppressing you. And I feel like I just feel like you just want to burst, is what I'm seeing here. Funny enough, that sun reminds me a lot of these pentacles. And honestly, if you see the rings around the sun, I feel like, this is you kind of going enough, and it kind of reverberating out. And I don't really feel like you're saying that out loud. I feel like you're really saying it internally, is what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing here. With the 2 of Pentacles, I feel like this is you trying to find your balance within these 2 worlds that you have to live in. Like, how do I continue to be around everybody but still move forward with everything that I am wanting to do? That's what I'm seeing here. And, flamingos actually symbolize balance. And they are birthed white. So when they're born white, and then later they become pink. But they have to feed themselves, because it comes from the food that they eat, which is what gives them their color. And I feel like the more you feed yourself the proper nutrition of positivity, staying away from, the negative talk and going into yourself, I feel like that's when you get your color and you start getting your full momentum. Okay? And look, even the pentacles are surrounded by ivy here. And it's like you have to devote yourself. I feel like this is you trying to devote yourself to what it is you want to do and your loyalty to those who are around you. And you're having this difficult time balancing it all. But again, once you start feeding yourself the right nutrients, that's when you gain your color. With the Four of Pentacles, I feel like what you're trying to achieve may come at a price. And that might have to do with letting go of some of these people that are in your life that you might feel loyal to, but are truly holding you back. That's what I'm seeing here, my dear pile number 3. Because I feel like some people around you are really trying to keep you from shining. Some of them not really purposefully. Some of them are just jealous, is what I'm getting here. I'm going to get some clarifiers, some advice. Actually, not clarifiers, sorry. Some advice. How can we move on? How can we help pile number 3 move on? And decipher who's good around them, who's really keeping them down. And who just has really good intentions. That's one. We have we have 5 cards. All these cards came out and Spirit wants them all, so I am taking them. So we have the 5 of Cups in reverse. The 2 of Wands in reverse. The 10 of Swords in reverse. Holy smokes. Page of Pentacles and King of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So with the 5 of Cups in reverse, what I'm seeing is let go of the loss. Sometimes loss is going to happen. That's just the reality of life. You have to let that go, allow it to occur, and focus on the good, is what I'm getting with this particular 5 of Cups in reverse here. The 2 of Wands literally fell between the 6 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles. And I feel like this is really a choice you need to make for yourself. Because the 2 of Wands can be about partnerships in a lot of ways. And I feel like this is something that you have to break away from, because this is the 2 of Wands in reverse. So if there's 2 things that you have to choose from, choose the thing that you have to kind of go away from. in order to move forward. With the Ten of Swords in reverse, I feel like whomever you are leaving behind, you have, again, this is 5, mourning, right? Loss. 2, choosing, two of Wands, choosing yourself, not the other person. 10 of Swords, cutting this person out. The 10 of Swords is about, a beginning and an end, right? Well, the 10 is a beginning and an end. You have to let something end in order for something to begin. But I feel that this is really about an ending with something or someone in order for you to go in the direction you want to go to. Because you're going to have, and it's a double-edged sword. Spirit just told me, double-edged sword. It's going to hurt you to have to do this, but you know that it's the right thing to do. With the Page of Pentacles, this is a new beginning. This is definitely a new beginning for you. And I feel like you're going to leave people in the wind. I feel like you're going to leave your cloud of dust behind with this Chariot, like this cloud of dust that you left behind moving forward. And they're going to be inhaling all of that. They're going, whoa, what happened? What happened to pile number 3? This person just left us in the dust. And they might be talking smack. That's not what the Page of Pentacles is. Page of Pentacles actually is about good news. But I don't feel like a lot of people are going to be overly happy that you leave them in the dust. I feel like you're going to be happy. And I feel like you're going to make your dreams a reality. But I don't feel like a lot of people are going to be happy about it. The King of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like this is more about you not weighing things out logically in your mind, considering things that you're loyal to, which is logical. Oh, I'm loyal to this, therefore this is how it should be. But I feel this is more about you letting go of logic and what everybody else has to say so that you're able to move forward. Because even in your own mind, you know that the logic behind what it is you want to do doesn't make a lot of sense. Yet it's what you're passionate for. And if you're passionate for it, then it's going to make you money. I mean, we have Page of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. It's going to make you money. But in order for it to make you money, it's going to cost you something. I'm sorry, it is. It's going to cost you something. Everything comes at a price, unfortunately. But we have wings 4 times. It's going to take flight. Whatever it is you want to do is going to take flight. But you have to discern for yourself what's your best route of action. That's really what this is going to come down to, my dear ones. What is your best route of action? 1, 2, you know what? Hold on. We have Capricorn twice, Jupiter twice, and the Sun twice. Interesting. So I'm seeing that you're very grounded, but I feel like you need to speak your truth and get out of this logic mindset and follow a gut instinct that you have, because that's going to actually guide you in the right direction. Remember, the blue Apatite spirit just told me to look at this blue apatite. The blue apatite has to do with the throat and third eye chakra. It has to do with understanding or seeing things at a deeper level. And I feel like you do see things at a deeper level. I do see that you are aligned with yourself, but these people around you, or whatever that is around you, whatever those outside influences are, they're muddying up your ideas, your thoughts, and they're confusing you. I couldn't even say the word. They're causing confusion. How about that? Which is why we're seeing these blended things, right? We're seeing these blendedness. And I feel like you need to break away from that in order, and we see you here with the Chariot breaking away. And look, I just noticed this. On the Chariot, we have the yellow and the blue clouds back there. Do you see the sky? Yellow and blue make green, right? So this blue apatite isn't necessarily blue. It isn't necessarily green. Right? And it's muddied, right? It's all murkied up. And look at the clouds breaking up in the sky. Do you see it? It's breaking up. The further away you move from whatever these outside influences are, the clearer your ideas and thoughts and intuition are going to get. The more you're going to get back to your truer nature. Because I feel like you are genuinely, I feel like your just intuition is natural for you. At least it typically is, but with these people around you, you're not. And I feel like that's why you needed to step away. That's why people are perceiving you as being aloof at this moment. But really, you just stepped aside to take care of yourself, to get your mind clear, refresh yourself. That's what you're defining. That's what you're honing in on. Your idea, your thought, how you're going to move forward, what you're going to do, tapping into your intuition and trying to cut the logic out for just a bit, because I feel like everybody's feeding you logic and you're like, yes, I understand the logic, but fill in the blank. I know I can do this. I know, and I don't feel like you're vocal about it. I feel like you're just taking their feedback and just suppressing all of their voices. And I feel like they're reverberating in your head over and over, which is, again, causing all of this cloudiness, all of this imbalance. But once you step away from that, whatever that is that's dragging you down, these ideas from other people, you're going to start seeing that your ideas are really going to take shape, and you're going to move forward and create that which you're really looking to create. All right, my dear pal number 3. I hope that did resonate. I hope that made sense for you. And I hope you are able to work things out and balance things out so that you are able to create your ideas into your reality. Get the freedom that you're wanting. Build the foundation you're wanting. And break free. All right, my dear ones. Until we meet again. Bye.